Hello, I'm Tyler Hart, and today I'll be presenting on the newfound struggles of online learning. According to CBS News, in the fall semester of 2020, nearly 47% of all students received at least one failing grade. This is due to the troubles of online learning. These troubles lie in the inconsistency in teaching methods, lack of motivation, increased level of workloads, and increased levels of academic fraud and cheating. Due to the coronavirus outbreak, many students are only offered online courses. The Associated Press found that now over 58% of students are only offered online courses. These newfound challenges have created a huge gap between students and teachers, figuratively and literally. These troubles in remote learning for upper level students begin in the so-called classroom. Teachers are trying new ways to keep their students involved. This means some are using the software that the school gives, while others use what they know and what they're comfortable with. This effort is appreciated, but adds stress and confusion on the students. When a student has a biology lecture on Zoom software, history on Blackboard Collaborate, and English on Google Meet, it all becomes overwhelming and hard to remember. The average student has many hard decisions to make. While in online class, they hear roommates playing video games, a TV in the background playing their favorite movie or sitcom, and their friends hassling them to come to the big party down the hall. Class is obviously the last thing they want to be doing. On Zoom, many students find themselves sitting through attendance, turning their camera off, and heading out with their friends. With struggles in information retention, teachers are struggling to get their material to stick with their students. Some find a solution in assigning more work, hoping repetition is the answer to the problem. This overwhelms students who have obligations outside of school, such as athletics, jobs, or hobbies. This increase of workload and repetition is linked to higher retention rates in students, but at what cost? With the overhaul of homework, students are seeing a steep plummet in their mental health. The American Psychological Association, or the APA, finds that 20 to 25% of screened college students are referred to some sort of treatment since coronavirus. Most students feel at the end of the day, teachers make a PowerPoint or hand them a textbook along with assignments and make them figure it out for themselves, giving the student two options: teach yourself or find ways to cheat. According to Global Newswire, retention rate with in-person classes is 25%, but jumps to 60% in e-learning. These statistics come from test scores and are invalid. The reason of the invalidity lies in the fact that there is no way to remove factors of academic fraud or cheating from these rise of scores. In a study done by the Washington Post, they found that at North Carolina State, 200 of the 800 students in a single Statistics 311 class were referred for disciplinary action for cheating on exams, and those were just the ones that got caught. The worst part about this problem is that there is no way to find the true numbers. Students will never admit to their academic fraud that they have grown so accustomed to in this pandemic. And teachers are fighting to keep their own heads above water due to the drop in test scores. 60% of faculty members believe that academic fraud is more common in online courses than face-to-face courses, according to Forbes magazine. The solution. Coming to a unanimous solution to solve this whole mess seems to be impossible for the rest of the country. The most agreed upon answer lies in uniformity. The way to ease the mental health crisis among students during this pandemic is to keep everything in one database per area of study. For example, all accounting business majors use the same number crunching software. English majors use the same software for turning in papers and meeting for lectures. This would help most because it's as close as we can get to going to the old norms of in-person class. The solution to heavy incline cases of cheating and academic fraud could be fixed with in-person exams. Nursing students are holding in-person labs and being safe and socially distant. That means that there is a safe and socially distant way to hold in-person exams. An example would be only filling the classroom at nearly 33% capacity and having 3 different exam times. This would allow students to sign up for the exam at first come first served basis and choose the time that best fits them. With the exam being in person, it is proctored by the professor, reducing the ability to cheat or commit academic fraud. As you see here, I have 2 students to a desk, both on opposite sides, and each space in between a student is about 6 feet, with the professor being at the top of the classroom and being able to see the students and their socially distant masks up. Lastly, keeping students' attention is hard enough, but expecting them to sit through a 2-hour online lecture is nearly impossible when they hear the humming of their Xbox or their friends partying down the hall. This can be fixed with shortened, more frequent classes. An example would be a bi-weekly 45-minute lecture as opposed to a 2-hour block time once a week. This would heavily increase the retention rate of the material for students. Thank you for coming today, and as you can see, I have all of my sources here.